Hello YouTube, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is Game 2 between Life and Innovation from the 2015 Intel Extreme Masters Championships in Katowice. This is on the map Catalina LE. Innovation has the 1-0 lead after fairly convincingly winning Game 1 with some good pressure from Hellions and Reapers, able to slow down the economy of Life just long enough for a Marine and Medevac and Widowmine follow through to come up next and get there before Banelings were ready, before Baneling speed was ready, and Life tapped out. So this is Game 2. We'll see if Innovation is interested in doing a similar strategy or if he has something else up his sleeve. In the meantime, we'll pull up the production tab. We just see workers coming out, and I imagine Life might be interested in switching up that 15 hatch that he did last time. Maybe a 14 pool 15 hatch or 15 pool 16 hatch might be a little bit more prudent based on the extreme aggression that Innovation showed in Game 1. But again, Life is one of the better players on Earth and probably the best Zerg player alive right now. So I will defer to his judgment, see what he wants to do. It looks like he is going to do something at around 14 or 15 supply. We have 14... and 15 on the way back home. The Terran is throwing down a barracks after supply depot. A refinery is going down, which means we'll probably see some Reapers and Hellions as we did in the last game. At 15 supply, Life is heading on down, and he's going to throw down his 15 hatchery. So that harassment from Game 1 did not throw him off his game. He says, I can do this, I can hold off these attacks, I can win this game even if I go 15 hatchery. I need the economic advantage, and that's what we're going to see from him. So the barracks almost complete for Innovation. I imagine he's got this timed out perfectly to where he has enough gas for a tech lab and enough gas for a Reaper. Exactly as that barracks finishes. It looks like he almost has enough for the Reaper. There it is. And the tech lab does have an upgrade for Marauders and Ghosts. So I am misremembering. I thought there was an upgrade or something required at the tech lab for Reapers, but there isn't. So the Reaper comes out from the Naked Barracks, and he's going to head right on up into the main of Life. Again, the spawning pool is about halfway done. The second base is about 60% done, so there's not much by way of stopping these two Reapers that are just being built. And we'll see if Life can do enough to hold these off and get his economy up and going to hold off the second attack from Innovation that is bound to come after this. So we're going to follow this Reaper on his journey right on up. Production tab back up. Queens are building, Zerglings are building, but again, they're a little bit late for this Reaper. Reaper comes right on in, decides to focus down a drone, escapes by making an extractor. We have a SCV also loosening things up, but he is destroyed by some popping Zerglings. The Zerglings chase down the Reaper. Two more Zerglings coming up the ramp from the natural, two more popping out of the main. And there might be enough to, yeah, they do chase the Reaper off right back down the ramp. The Queens are building. The Reaper did manage to get one kill, but I think that was a Zergling. So the number of drones, yeah, the number of drones is 18 to 17 for Life. The Reaper and his buddy hop on back up into the base. The Queen is trying to cut off their avenue of retreat. So the Zerglings try to surround, but they barely miss. They cannot trap the Reapers inside the base where they can be destroyed. They're able to escape, do some more kiting. Finding a transferring drone, not interested in focusing that down. The Queen gets another hit off, and the Reapers escape. So again, no workers destroyed. So Life doing a really good job at preventing harassment here. Gets another inject off on the main right on time. His injects are just spectacularly timed. Another inject right on 25 energy again. So Life has practiced this a lot, I assume, and is just great at hitting those timings like he needs to. Three Reapers get into the main here, though, and they can almost one-shot drones. Two drones go down. Three drones go down. Two of the Reapers get caught. The third Reaper gets caught. And all of the Reapers are destroyed for Innovation. So he basically traded 3 Reapers for 3 drones, which is a pretty good trade, but I'll bet he is interested in keeping those Reapers around for a follow-up attack with some Hellions that he was planning earlier. So not having those around will probably hurt Innovation in this follow-up harassment that he was planning on doing. The command center in the natural is down. We have some mules dropping, obviously, as well. Another command center is going down. Innovation already preparing for his third. So it looks like this second wave of harassment is not even planned on being as strong as it was in Game 1. We have some Zerglings running around. Just 5 of them, not enough to stop much of anything. They're hiding up top, though. They don't want to be caught by any Hellions that are running out, so they're going to hang out on top of this ramp, maybe do some scouting around when these Hellions are away from home, checking for the presence of a third, which would be really early for innovation, but you know, you never know. They run right into 2 Hellions, take some big shots to the face, try to trap the Hellions up against the wall, not able to do so. 3 of them die. The remaining Zergling does get into the base, gets some scouting information, sees the command center, and that's all he needs to see. Life doesn't bother to micro him as he gets roasted up, but Life has his 3rd base on the way. 3rd hatchery all about 75%, should be finishing up fairly soon. Scouting Overlord up on the high ground, seeing exactly what kind of a wall Innovation is building here at his ramp. The 4 Hellions out on this field looking for Zerglings, looking for anything to roast. Again, no roaches on the way for Life. He just wants to make these Zerglings work until he can get Mutalisks out. We'll see if that works for him. But 4 Hellions, 6 Hellions against 3 Queens. I think the Queens are enough to take this out, as long as the Hellions don't do a run-by and bypass them. We'll have to see what happens. The Queens extend a little bit, trying to force these Hellions back, allowing these creep tumors to complete. They are very important to extend the Zerg vision and speed boosting ability of the Queens, especially in this game. So those get down, the Queens head off the angle that the Hellions want to attack on. Hellions are a little frustrated right now, as they're being headed off at every turn. The 3rd base is going down. In the meantime, Innovation knows that Life's not able to get out of his base very easily with these Hellions. Another creep tumor goes down, further extending this creep, and Innovation is not quite sure what to do. These Hellions have not paid for themselves. They haven't done very much attacking at all, didn't even get far onto the creep of Life. Life's been able to sit back and macro up, now at 56 Harvesters to 42 here 9 minutes into the game. Mules are coming down to the 3rd base. That will help Innovation catch up in the economic front, but I mean, at this point, we do have the lair going down a little bit later than we saw in the last game, I believe. And Life is just macroing up. He wants to saturate all 3 of these bases before he really gets his tech going, just so that his mid-game push will be even more powerful than we would anticipate it to be. So the Hellions are just playing defense right now. Looks like on the production tab we have Medivacs, Marines, upgrades for the bio units, combat shield, level weapon 1 reactors. What you're going to see from Terran in a Terran versus Zerg matchup. Marines are down at the ramp, preventing any scouting from these Zerglings. The Hellions are trying to do their job, trying to say, hey, we're worth something, pay attention to us, but they don't have any kills at all, as I accidentally paused the game. Haven't been able to do much. The creep is almost right up to the front door of the 3rd base for Innovation, which is not what he wants to see at all. We do see a drop coming down, though. 2 medevacs full of Marines, not a Marauder to be seen, not a Widow Mine. They're actually just going to drop down here to defend, maybe do some pushing against this creep, which he knows is almost out of control. The Marines move on up onto the creep. They can take down 1-2 creep tumors before they finish. We're going to do a scan, taking out several more creep tumors. Combat shield and ground carapace level 1 just about finishing up. 3 Queens is not enough to handle this, especially not with Hellion support. These Marines are pushing up at a time when we do have some Banelings being made. Centrifugal Hooks is far away from being finished, though, but the Zerglings get us around, force a pickup on the medevacs, and Terran is forced to retreat. Innovation regroups, transforms his Hellions into Hellbats, which are, again, much better against Zerglings in large numbers than Hellions are. We have slow Banelings running around the creep. Centrifugal Hooks is about 40 seconds away from completion. They'd be really useful for Life at this point. It's just there's so much creep to push back for Innovation that it might be a while before he's threatening anything of note. Although I spoke too soon, he is pushing right up on the front door of the 3rd. The Zerglings come sweeping in. The Marine splits are good, but not quite good enough to deal with the 1-1 Zerglings. They clean up all the Marines. The medevacs are forced to head home completely empty. Overseer following them. A counterattack from the Zerglings come in, surround this Zergling army, manage to take out some of them, but recognize it's not enough. Trying to take out these SCVs, but they're being healed by the medevacs, and they're going to be really hard to take down for these Zerglings. But nobody's attacking the Zerglings, so they can just stay here forever doing what they want until the Marines respond and do take them down. Still pushing creep from Life. Creep spread again, coming up the ramp into the 3rd base of Innovation. More creep spread being pushed, but immediately destroyed by these Marines. A Baneling being morphed, cancelled. Baneling speed has finished. Mutalisks are coming. Terran picks up, runs away. A push is possibly coming. Some harassment from these Mutalisks. trying to take out some workers while getting hit in the face by this missile turret, which is perfectly placed to prevent against such harassment. The Mutalisks are heading back home. A 4th base is already down for life, so it is 4 base to 3 base. We have Zerglings and Mutalisks and Banelings all over this creep, which again is pushing right up against Innovation. And I know Innovation is not comfortable with that, is going to try to do more raiding parties out onto the creep to take out creep tumors as fast as he possibly can. But again, he's just worried about these Mutalisks coming into the 3rd, taking out workers. A single missile turret is a good deterrent, but it's not enough if the Mutalisk numbers are in great abundance. So we have more Banelings being morphed in. We have the 1-1 upgrading to 2-2 just about done. 2-2 almost done as well for Terran. More medevacs coming down, drilling claws for the Widow Mines, making them that much more effective against this composition from the Zerg. A couple good Widow Mine hits is enough to turn a battle. It can kill several Banelings, several Zerglings, a large clump of Mutalisks. These Zerglings want nothing to do with this onrushing army. They're looking for a place to harass and maybe just a distraction against the attack from the right side. Banelings are rolling in. Banelings rolling in from the left side and the right side, taking down every single Marine. Maybe not cost effective, but doing pretty well, taking out huge groups of workers. They're dying. 11 workers going down. This 3rd base is under complete lockdown. 2 more Baneling hits happened. Widow Mines do have 13 and 8 kills each, which is awesome. The Marines are at 2-2 now and looking very scary. More Banelings are morphing in. Income is 71 Harvesters to 54 in favor of the Zerg. That 4th base is not quite fully saturated, but he's ready for the transfer from the main when the time comes. Baneling hits, rolling and again, taking out a couple Widow Mines, taking out all the Zerglings, or rather all the Marines. The Zerglings pushing back again. Widow Mine hits, helping with that defense. Just several kills on there. Widow Mines burrowing, Banelings rolling in with Zerglings, hoping to bait Widow Mine hits into Innovation's own units. Doing pretty well there. More Banelings morphing in. The creep is being pushed farther along this left side. Production sees more Zerglings coming in. Upgrade, Flyer attacks 1 for the Mutalisks. A Marauder coming down, but just more Marines and more Marines for Innovation. Small group of Mutalisks, just enough to do some harassment and take down medevacs. We don't see huge swarms of Mutalisks from the Zerg just because they are so easily countered by large groups of either Widow Mines or Marines. So just enough to do some harassment. And again, take down fleeing medevacs is all you're going to see from Zerg most of the time. More creep tumors going down. We're going level 3-3 for the Terran, which is a scary sight for the Zerg to deal with. 3-3 Marines and Marauders, especially being healed by medevacs that have good amounts of energy, is very dangerous. The creep tumor is going to finish before the scan comes in and it gets wiped out anyway. Sweeping attack from the bottom and the top. We have Zerglings and Banelings. Again, this is just the danger of having the creep up to your door. As soon as you march outside, you're going to get flanked from the left side, from the right side, from the bottom by this Zerg attack. Innovation probably feels very hemmed in at this point, not quite sure what to do. The Mutalisk flock is growing, and +1 attack isn't quite finished. Mutalisks decide to move on into the main, immediately take down a missile turret, showing some good micro there, flying back out just to force Innovation to stay inside his base. Do we have a 5th base going down for Zerg? We do not. The 4th base, again, is getting saturated from workers that came from the main here. There's a Widow Mine in the main of Life. We'll keep an eye on that. I'm not sure if Life even knows that it's there. It does have 6 kills. Most of those are workers, most likely. A drop is pushing up here from Innovation. 1 on the left side. We might see a push up the middle and then a drop on the left side into the main of Life to see what he can see. The Widow Mine was cleaned up, so no problem from Life. Another push up the middle from this Marine Marauder force, and he's worried about his other flank being undefended, so he's keeping units back, pushing up with small units up the middle. Just not quite sure how to deal with this creep spread. He is probably wishing he'd done a better job of denying it earlier on in the game. Meanwhile, this drop does not go all the way into the main. It kind of just drops on the left side. We have a huge flock of Mutalisks coming and killing so many SCVs. 10, 11, 12, 13 for Innovation, losing so much of his economy. The worker count is now 73 to 48. What I said there about the small groups of Mutalisks, I guess as the game goes on, it's more tenable to have large groups of Mutalisks. With that +1 attack, which is just so much more effective as the Mutalisk glaives do bounce to several targets on each attack. That +1 upgrade is much better that way. Zerglings and Banelings rolling in to clean up this attack, forcing the Terran retreat. Widow Mines do get some hits there, killing several SCVs. But the Banelings cleaned them up. The Mutalisk Flock is trying to pick off individual Marines. Is forced back, though, by this group of 4 Marines. Level 3 weapons is almost up. Level 3 armor is almost up for the Terran. But again, that income, 69 to 50 for Zerg. So he should be able to get as many Zerglings, Banelings, and Mutalisks as he wants to defend against this attack. It is a very small group that's just trying to push the creep back for innovation now. So not as much as he wants to see. He is trying to float down his 4th base to the left side here. It might be a little bit too late for him, though. We'll have to see, because those mules do drop down, providing some immediate mineral income, which can be spent on Marines and Widow Mines and everything else that he needs to defend against this attack. Supply is 194 to 142. Zerg has the advantage, but again, one successful push up the middle with those Marines and Medevacs and Marauders can spell the end for Zerg if they're not careful. A drop coming in on the top side. A drop of 3-3 Marines is enough to hold back those Mutalisks. Zerglings coming on in. The Zerglings are 2-2, slowly taking down the Marines. The Medevac's taken down, and the rest of the drop is cleaned up without doing too much damage. A second drop coming up along the left side. So life is doing well, but it wasn't really enough to prevent the 4th from going down. I'm not even sure if he knows that's there. He probably should scout it out fairly soon. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th base going down for life up along the top left side as far away as possible from the Terran. Mutalisks flying in, trying to take this group out, trying to take down Widow Mines with the help of the Overseer, but they decide to fly out. If they're clumped up, a couple Widow Mine hits is enough to obliterate that flock entirely, so better safe than sorry is what life says. Medevac moves out along the same flight path that he saw the Mutalisks go. So he's pretty brave. It looks like a small Marine counterattack going along the left side, takes out a Queen, takes down these transferring drones. Mutalisks are able to clean it up fairly easily. They're on their way back from the Terran main. But 3 workers go down. We're at 58 to 64, so that disparity that Zerg had earlier is not so much anymore. Zerglings and Banelings are ready to crush this entire push up along the left side for innovation. The Terran is forced to pick up in the Medevacs and retreat. Mutalisks are flying in, and it's 200 supply to 163 for the Zerg. He has a fairly commanding lead. Is he going to push in for the kill now? Zerglings rolling in. Banelings rolling in, Mutalisks rolling in, coming right up the front door of the Terran Natural. Gets through the bunker. Where is the army for innovation? I don't know. There's a Thor in production. There are some Widow Mines up here where the Banelings are crushing through everything. The geometry of the buildings is helping, but the Mutalisks are destroying everybody that's popping out of these buildings as they're being built. There are Banelings right in the middle of everything, trying to take down bunkers, trying to take down barracks and reactors and anything they can find. The Terran base is being destroyed by these Mutalisks, who do have this second upgrade for their flyer attacks, and innovation calls the GG. So again, I believe the key to that game was just life being able to hold on against that early aggression, really getting the worker count up early against innovation. Those Hellions that innovation made didn't do much damage at all, which really helped life in the mid game to have as many Zerglings, Banelings, and Mutalisks as he possibly needed. He was patient, he tried to starve innovation out, but eventually he decided, I have the army advantage, I should just swing on in and take the Terran down. So life ties the series up at 1-1. We're going to move into game 3 here. This has been Falcon Paladin. If you like my video, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channels. I do daily Blizzard uploads focusing on Starcraft 2 games for professionals. You can visit me on Twitter and Facebook at /Falcon Paladin on both of those social media sites. And until next time, this is Falcon Paladin. You take care of yourself.